Okay, today I will be reviewing a product by MetaMetals, and this is my first ever MetaMetals purchase. And here it is, in all its glory. This is a limited edition, one of only 66, 1 gram mirror polished osmium bullion. From the outside, it looks really professional, really clean, really well put together, and really well thought out. At the bottom here, you can see the Mattel Weimer logo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Dr. Alexander Weimer, he is basically the brains behind this and other products sold by MetaMetals. MetaMetals, their logo is right here. They are his marketing and sales partner. So they basically sell these products and he makes them. You can see this is number 27 out of 66. This is 66 made worldwide. That's it. So there's not a whole lot of these going around. You can see here it was made in 2024, 1 gram in weight. We'll test that later. In the light, the laser engraving looks black. When it's not in the light, it looks blue. Now, the reason for this is because when you laser engrave osmium bullion, there's a lot of heat in the process and it ablates the metal away. This leaves a coating of osmium dioxide. However, unlike Luciteria, they have decided to remove the osmium dioxide from the bullion before it's sold to customers. This is probably done by immersing it in hydrogen peroxide or hydrochloric acid or things like that. Now, on the sides, you can see there is a genuine original seal. In the right light, you can see that each seal has its own serial number. Each individual seal has its own serial number, and they're different. So I thought that was pretty unique as well. Now, on the back of this bullion, you can see the design of a dragon. That is because 2024 is the year of the dragon. Now, it comes in this really tough looking acrylic case. This is so that way people who, sort of stack osmium, they can actually physically stack these on top of one another. That's really not my deal. I just bought this to replace my last osmium bullion, which was 2.5 grams from Luciteria, because I started using it to do osmium chemistry, so it is currently pretty ruined. And I wanted a nice, good-looking replacement, and this is it. Now, unfortunately, I am in fact going to pop the seal and disassemble this thing to take the bullion out and inspect it for myself. Okay, just going to right down the middle there. And then I'm going to take an Allen wrench. I'm going to loosen all of these up. And get these little screws out of there. All right, there's the first screw. Now, for some people who like to stack osmium as an investment, what I'm doing may seem horrifying. But this is me we're talking about. I want to inspect the actual osmium. I want to see just how good of a job MetaMetals really did with it, because I liked Luciteria's bullion, and I would like to see just how this compares with it. Now, before I actually pop this thing open, I just like to say that 1 gram bullions like this are a first of its kind. Luciteria has made something similar. This is the first 1 gram bullion that MetaMetals has made. And I cannot stress enough, this is literally a feat of engineering. It is difficult enough to make and polish osmium bullion of any size, but 1 gram? Well done. I don't know how many tools and machines they had to break to make 66 of these possible, but it is definitely commendable. Their tools have to be able to withstand a certain amount of pressure without actually breaking, chipping, or cracking these these sintered bullions. Because you got to remember, as opposed to fully dense osmium, sintered osmium is actually quite fragile. So you need a lot of pressure and a lot of care in making these. All right, now I put some gloves on simply because I don't want to get fingerprints all over this bullion because I'm planning on sticking it back in here. But I'm going to, there we go, crack it open, and there it is. I will take it out and do an inspection on it. What I'd like to point out before we take a closer look is that they even took time to flatten out the sides. It doesn't quite have a mirror polish, but it does sheen nicely in the light. And this is in contrast to what I've seen with some of Luciteria's smaller bullions. I know their 2.5 gram bullion, there was no significant flattening on the sides. Now, close up, this bullion looks fantastic. There are some grind marks and a little bit of pitting, but that's to be expected with sintered osmium. It's not going to be perfect, it's going to be close to perfect. Now the back of this piece is very nice. You can see the dragon, you can see the number 27 out of 66, made in 2024, and SMT, that's for MetaMetals, the Special Metals Technologies label. Little bit of pitting, no visible grind marks. Well, okay, there's a few grind marks, but overall, very, very nice. Now we're going to place it on the scale to see how accurate the weight is. Alright, so we have 1.038 grams. That is extremely close to 1 gram. My 2.5 gram osmium bullion that I got from Luciteria was actually 2.8 grams, so it was quite a ways off the mark. This is much more precise. So under the microscope, this actually looks really good. Now you can see the laser engraving there. As I said earlier in the video, this would have originally been covered in osmium dioxide, and Luciteria sells their bullion as is. They don't bother removing it. MetaMetals, on the other hand, they take it upon themselves to remove the osmium dioxide. This can be done by immersing it in strong hydrogen peroxide, hydrochloric acid, take your pick. It does not damage the metal and just removes the osmium dioxide. Zooming in closer, we can see the true depth of the laser engraving. When Luciteria laser engraves their bullion, they laser just enough to get some osmium dioxide on the surface. If you remove this osmium dioxide, it can become difficult to see the engraving. With these, however, they are laser engraved to such a depth that it's easy to see even after removing the dioxide coating. Now, looking at the front side of this bullion, it's clear to me, especially under a microscope, that the quality isn't as good as the back. But then again, it's still a pretty darn good job. Asking for every bullion to be perfect on each side, I think, is asking a little bit too much. And you can see I'm fighting the focus on the camera as well. Man, this is just spectacular. This is really, really nice. I'm very, very impressed with this piece. You can see some of the grind marks there going vertically down. Zooming in further, we can see there's an odd sort of texture on the laser engraving. It looks sort of hilly, bumpy, bubbly. When this laser engraving is done, it oxidizes osmium, producing volatile osmium tetroxide and leaving osmium dioxide on the surface. That's what you're seeing here. Okay, so having put the display piece back together, completely reassembled it, yes, unfortunately this seal has been broken. The other seal is bent, but it is not broken. I really don't know what that does to the value of the piece, but I'm really not looking to sell this. This is going to be a keeper for me. So now, my final thoughts and what I think. I think this is really, really excellent. How does it compare to Luciteria? Well, I'm going to be completely honest. I think it's a tie, and I'm going to explain why. You see, Luciteria doesn't bother to polish every single side, just the front and the back. But if you buy from them, you may get more bang for your buck, because my 2.5 gram bullion that I bought from them actually turned out to be 2.8. Whereas with MetaMetals, there is an extremely high emphasis on accuracy and precision, and this was almost exactly 1 gram. And the high precision polish they gave on this thing it just takes my breath away, honestly. So Luciteria, all their other bullions, most of them are mirror polished. Whereas MetaMetals, their larger bullion, they do not come mirror polished, and they come with a sort of wavy appearance that is produced from the sintering process. Now, for some of their larger bullions, I think it looks pretty cool, but their 2.5 gram osmium bullions, I'm not sure if I like the look of it. So it's kind of a tie for me. However, regardless of what product you buy from MetaMetals, you can be sure that you will get a very, very high precision product, and you can trust it. Another thing that I like about this piece that Mattel has made is that even if you took it out of the packaging and stuck it in, I don't know, boiling 50% hydrogen peroxide, unlike Luciteria's bullion, that's not going to affect the appearance on the surface, because they've already removed the osmium dioxide, and they've laser engraved it deep enough so that way you can see the markings pretty clearly. Okay, and I think that's it for my review. If you're interested in a product like this was about $100. I bought it from Majestic Metals Marketing. They're based in Detroit. You can buy either MetaMetals or Luciteria. It's really just a matter of taste and what you prefer. All right, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.